Hi, this is Kytka from Waldorf Homeschoolers. I just wanted to welcome you to this community, and I wanted to just spend a couple brief minutes explaining what I'd like to see taking place at this discussion group. I started Waldorf Homeschoolers probably 12 years ago, and I sort of did it out of necessity because I was going to the Waldorf schools, and there were so many parents that were homeschooling that didn't really have like a network or didn't have a structured format of getting curriculum, getting resources, getting to the teachers, etc. So I'm a really good resource person, and I'm a good connection person, and when something sort of comes around and spins around and there's a need, somehow I get it and I know how to fix it. I can get it, first I get it here and then I can go out and get it, and that's kind of what I do. So I started the Waldorf Homeschoolers website. I was making curriculum, I was speaking, I wrote with a friend, we did the community exchange, I was coaching several parents, and it was wonderful. My mother ended up getting sick, she had a stroke, and I wanted to move back to Florida to be close to her. So when we came here, I had lost all the community, and the lifestyle here was very different than on the West Coast. There we were going to the fruit market. There we had relationships with the postman and with the guy at the produce, and we had relationships there. And when we came here, we were very isolated. And I really don't like the climate. I mean, there were lots of things that came into play, but what really came into play was 9/11 happened, and I just freaked out. I couldn't find people to support my raw diet. I couldn't find any Waldorf people. The catalog business that I had and the eBay business that I had, a lot of the people were just so focused on the money that it wasn't really like a bartering community, sort of a project of give and take. I got exhausted and I wanted to leave. I also, my kids were getting older, and I wanted them to experience something different. I wanted them to see that everything around them, how they live, what they see, what they take for granted, and they weren't taking it for granted, they were too young, but I knew that just it was being implanted in their minds that everything is so easy. And I know that at 95% of the world it's not. We're very blessed and fortunate in this country, and sadly so many people don't realize that. But so I wanted to move somewhere where they could see a different way of living. So we moved to Costa Rica, and I was homeschooling very actively. My business, Waldorf Homeschoolers, pretty much fell apart because the internet service there at that time and where we lived, very rural, was horrible. I couldn't check emails sometimes for 6 weeks. I couldn't blog. I couldn't participate on the discussion. I mean, it was horrible. And I was devastated, and all of that went down the tubes. And then I was in this other country thinking, what am I going to do? And I ended up working for a real estate company. And it wasn't that I went out seeking this job. It was just my enthusiasm about the country and its people was so just stellar. I mean, there's not a big enough word. These people would hear me, in the little local restaurant or something, and I'd be talking to tourists that I just met saying, oh my gosh, I love living here. And I was so high energy. They're like, you have to come and sell with us. So I ended up inadvertently getting into the real estate business there. And then I had my own company, and I didn't like working in that business. What I wanted to do was help people to protect their properties. So I ended up taking on a partner and making my own company where we were buying and selling, and yet letting the people maintain a piece of their land for their families, and it was good work. This partner ended up turning bad, and I don't want to go into details because that's not what this is about, but I ended up I lost everything. I'm fighting for it with my legal team there, and I ended up, because I refused to be bullied into signing a deportation order, which was falsely put together because what they wanted was to get me to sign it so I would leave the country. I ended up sitting in jail for 59 days. So when I came back here, I was very devastated. I was absolutely broken. I had never been apart from the children. I had never been through such an experience. I mean, I got a ticket when I was 18. I mean, I had no scope of anything in that realm, and my world just went upside down. And when I came back here, I weighed 35 pounds less, and I'm a size 1 now, so you can only imagine. And it's not by choice. And Zach ended up writing to Tony Robbins and said, help my mom. My mom needs help. She's on the bottom. My mom's a shining light. She's always been giving. She's a wonderful person. She has an incredible message, but she is on the bottom and she needs somebody to pick her up. So Tony invited us to go speak with him in Orlando. We actually got about 2 hours with him one-on-one, and then we attended his UPW and we attended the Date with Destiny, which is like a boot camp of get your shit together. And it's exactly what the doctor ordered. I mean, it's exactly what I needed. And for Zach to have made that call and taken that responsibility on is like a personal testament for me that all of my unschooling and homeschooling and the path that I've taken, you know, has really empowered my kids to be strong and be leaders, and they're very giving and they volunteer and they sort of care about the foundations of things and the integrity behind the way things happen. They're givers, they're not takers. But something that Tony taught me was there's a difference between living a life of service and being a servant. And I think before I left, a lot of my frustration was that I wanted to help everybody, but I couldn't support my family doing that. So I was being a servant. I didn't have any value for myself, and I didn't express any value to the people outside of me. So I learned so many things, and I have people who write to me saying, I just want to hear about the homeschooling. I don't want to hear about Tony, and I don't want to hear about your new business ventures. I have to tell you, this site is not about Waldorf homeschooling. Steiner said we need to instill in our children a love of learning, and I think I've done that, and I think that's like the only lesson that you need to get as a homeschooling teacher parent. I also think that Steiner's important thing that he spoke about was modeling. And when we're modeling for our children, those are the times we're not standing in front of them telling them, I'm the parent and you will listen to me and this is the plan. That's your day-to-day minutes of day-to-day life, and that includes your relationships, the choices that you make on the move, on the go at every given moment, how you conduct your business, how you conduct your friendships, how you conduct your personal life, how you conduct your emotions when you get angry, when someone rips you off, if someone cuts you off in traffic, how you're loving to other people. So this site is about sharing everything, and I really think it's important to do that, and I want to support a community of open-minded people who know that we live in a holistic world and that everything is connected. It is a planet of oneness that is fueled by our love and service. That's my belief, and everything that I do comes from that core belief. I'm afraid I'm going to turn out the battery because this is like the third time I'm trying to say this to you, so I'm going to just cut it here. Please read the posts, participate in the discussions, call me if you have any questions. I encourage you. Share your experiences, share your businesses, tell us what's working for you and what isn't. Vent, bitch, complain, compliment, sing praises. Anything that you want is welcome on this site, okay? And if you're going to be a participant in this community, bring us you, because that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in meeting you, okay? All righty. I'll try to put up some other video things in a couple of days. Have a great day. Bye.